Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read Numbers 31 to 36, Deuteronomy 1, Proverbs 7, and Psalm 134. Let's get started. The Lord spake to Moses, saying, Avenge the people of Israel on the Midianites. Afterward you shall be gathered to your people. So Moses spake to the people, saying, Arm men from among you for the war, that they may go against Midian to execute the Lord's vengeance on Midian. He shall send 1,000 from each of the tribes of Israel to the war, so they were provided. And out of the thousands of Israel, 1,000 from each tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war. 1,000 from each tribe, together with Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest, with the vessels of the sanctuary, and the trumpets for the alarm in his hand. They warred against Midian as the Lord commanded Moses, and killed every male. They killed the king of Midian with the rest of their slain, every Rechem, Hur, and Reba, the 5 kings of Midian. And to the rest of the slain, every Rechem, Hur, and Reba, with the 5 kings of Midian. And they also killed Balaam the son of Beor with the sword. And the people of Israel took captive the women of Midian and their little ones, and they took as plunder. They took as plunder all their cattle, their flocks, and all their goods, and all their cities and the places where they lived, and all their encampments. They burned with fire, and took all the spoil and all the plunder, both the men and the beasts. And they brought the captives, and the plunder, and the spoil to Moses, and to Eleazar the priest, and to the congregation of the people of Israel, at the camp on the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho. Moses and Eleazar the priest, and all the congregation, chiefs of the congregation, went to meet them outside the camp. And Moses was angry with the officers of the army, with the commanders of 1,000 and the commanders of 100, who had come from service in the war. Moses said to them, Have you let all the women live? These on Balaam's advice caused the people of Israel to act treacherously in the law, in the incident of Peor. So the people, and so the plague came among the congregation of the Lord. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman who has known man by lying with them. But all the young girls who have not known man by lying with them, keep it alive for yourself, and camp outside the camp 7 days. Whoever of you has killed any person, and whoever has touched any slain, purify yourselves and your captives on the 3rd day. And on the 7th day, you shall purify every garment, every article of skin, all work of goat's hair, and every article of wood. And Eleazar the priest said to the army who had gone to battle, This is the statute of the Lord that the Lord commanded Moses. Statute of the Lord that the Lord has commanded Moses. Only the gold, the silver, the bronze, the iron, the tin, and the lead, everything that can stand the fire, you shall pass through the fire, and it shall be clean. Nevertheless, it shall also be purified with the water for impurity. And whatever cannot stand the fire, shall pass through the water. You must wash your clothes on the 7th day, and you shall be clean. And afterward you may come into the camp. The Lord said to Moses, Take the count of the plunder that was taken, both of man and of beast, and you and Eleazar the priest and the heads of fathers' houses of the congregation, and divide the plunder into 2 parts between the warriors who went out to battle and all the congregation, and levy for the Lord a tribute for the men of war who went out to battle, 1 out of 500 of the people, and of the oxen, and of the donkeys, and of the flock. Take it from their half, and give it to Eleazar the priest as a contribution to the Lord. And from the people of Israel's half, you shall take one draw out of every 50 of the people, of the oxen, and of the donkeys, and of the flocks, of all the cattle, and give them to the Levites to keep guard over the tabernacle of the Lord. And Moses and Eleazar did as the Lord commanded Moses. Now the plunder remaining of the spoil that the army took was 675,000 sheep, 72,000 cattle, 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 persons in all, women who had not known man by lying with them. And the portion of those who had gone out in the army numbered 337,500 sheep. And the Lord's tribute of sheep was 675. And cattle were 36,000, of which the Lord's tribute was 72. And donkeys were 30,500, of which the Lord's tribute was 61. Of persons were 16,000, of which the Lord's tribute was 32 persons. And Moses gave the tribute, which was the contribution for the Lord, to Eleazar, to the priest, as the Lord commanded Moses. On the heap of Israel's half, which Moses separated from that of the men who had served in the army. Now the congregation's half was 337,000 sheep, 36,000 cattle, and 30,500 donkeys, and then 16,000 persons. On the people of Israel's half, Moses took 1 in every 50, both the persons and the beasts, and gave them to the Levites, who kept guard over the tabernacle of the Lord, as the Lord had commanded Moses. And the officers who were over the thousands of the army, who bands of thousands, and the commanders of hundreds came near to Moses, and said to Moses, Your servants have counted the men of war who are under our command, and there is not a man missing from us. And we have brought the Lord's offering, which each man found: articles of gold, armlets and bracelets, signet rings, earrings, and beads. Take a total for over ourselves before the Lord. And Moses and Eleazar the priest received from them the gold of all crafted articles, and all the gold of the contribution that they presented to the Lord. And the commanders of thousands and the commanders of hundreds was 16,750 shekels. And Moses and Eleazar the priest received the gold from the commanders of thousands and hundreds, and brought it into the tent as a memorial for the people of Israel before the Lord. Now the people of Reuben and the people of Gad had a very great number of livestock, and they sold the land of Jade and the land of Gilead. And behold, the place was a place for livestock. So the people of Gad and the people of Reuben came and said to Moses and to Eleazar the priest, and to the chiefs of the congregation, Talis, David, Jason, Nimrah, Heshbon, Eluleh, Sebam, Nebah, and Bean. The land that the Lord struck down before the congregation of Israel is a land for livestock, and your servants and livestock. And they say, if we have found favor in your sight, let this land be given to your servants for a possession. Do not take us across the Jordan. But Moses said to the people of Gad and to the people of Reuben, shall your brothers go to war while you sit here? Only will you discourage the whole of the people of Israel from going over into the land that the Lord has given them. Your fathers did this when I sent them from Kadesh Barnea to see the land. But when they went up to the valley of Eshcol and saw the land, he discouraged the whole of the people of Israel from going into the land that the Lord had given them. And the Lord's anger was kindled on that day, and he swore, saying, surely none of the men who came out of the land of Egypt, none of the men who came up out of Egypt, and 20 years old, shall see the land that I swore to give to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, because they have not wholly followed me, none except Caleb the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, and Joshua the son of Nun, for they wholly followed the Lord. And the Lord's anger was kindled against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness 40 years, until all the generation had done even in the sight of the Lord was gone. And behold, you have risen in your father's place, a breed of simple men, to increase still more the fierce anger of the Lord against Israel. For if you turn away from following him, he will again abandon them in the wilderness, and you will destroy all those people. And they came from him, came near to him, and said, and we will build sheepfolds and found livestock, and cities around the lawns. And we will take up arms ready to go before the people of Israel, until we have brought them to our place. To their place, but our little ones shall live in the fortified cities because of the inhabitants of the land. We will not return to our houses until each of the people of Israel has given his inheritance. We will not inherit with them on the other side of the Jordan and beyond, because our inheritance is come to us on this side of the Jordan to the east. So Moses said, if you will do this, if you will take up arms to go before the Lord for the war, then every armed man of you will pass over the Jordan before him, until he has driven out his enemies from before him, and the land is subdued before the Lord. Then after it shall return and be free of obligation to the Lord and to Israel, and this land shall be a possession before the Lord. If you will not do so, behold, you have sinned against the Lord, and be sure your sin will find you out. Then seek who your little ones and follow to you should, and do what you have promised. And the people of God and the people of Israel sacrifice. Your servants will do as my Lord commands. Our little ones, our wives, our livestock, and all cattle shall remain there in the cities together. And servants will pass over. Every man who is armed for war, before the Lord to bow, as my Lord orders. And Moses gave command concerning them to Eleazar the priest, and to Joshua the son of Nun, and the heads of fathers' houses, and of the tribes of the people of Israel. And Moses said to them, if the people of Gad and the people of Reuben, every man who is armed to battle before the Lord, will pass with you over the Jordan, and the land shall be subdued before you. And you shall give them the land of Canaan, the land of Gilead for a possession. However, if they will not pass over you with your arm, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. And the people of Gad and the people of Reuben answered, what the Lord has said to your servant Judah, you will pass over armed before the Lord into the land of Canaan, and the possession of our inheritance. Whose inheritance shall not remain with us beyond the Jordan. And Moses gave to them, and to the people of Gad, and to the people of Reuben, and to the half-tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, and the king of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and the king of Og, king of Bashan, and the land is seized with their territories. The cities of the land throughout their country, and the people of Gad built Dibon, Ataroth, Aroah, Ataroth, Shopha, Jazer, Jazer, Jogbehar, Beth Nimrah, Beth Haran, fortified cities and forts of sheep, and the people of Reuben built Heshbon, Elad, Kirithah, Nebo, and Balmir, and Sibmah, and they gave other names to the cities that they built. And the sons of Machir, the son of Manasseh, went to Gilead and captured it, and dispossessed the Amorites who were in it. And Moses gave Gilead to Machir, the son of Manasseh, and he settled in it. And Jair, the son of Manasseh, went and captured their villages, and called them Hamath Jair. And Nabal went and captured Kenath and his villages, and called it Nabal after his own name. These are the stages of the people of Israel. After they went in Egypt, I had companies under the leadership of Moses and Aaron. Moses wrote down their starting places stage by stage. I commanded the Lord, and these are their stages, according to their starting places. And they set out from Ramesses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month. On the day after the Passover, the people of Israel went out triumphantly in the sight of all the Egyptians, while the Egyptians were burying all their firstborn. And the Lord had struck down among them on their gods, so the Lord executed judgments. So the people of Israel set out from Ramesses and encamped at Succoth. And they set out from Succoth and encamped at Etham, which is on the edge of the wilderness. And they set out from Etham and turned back to Pihahiroth, which is east of Baal-Zephon. And they came before Migdol, and they set out before Hazeroth, and passed through the midst of the sea into the wilderness. And they went a 3 days' journey in the wilderness of Etham and camped at Marah. And they set out from Marah and came to Elam. At Elam there were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees. And they set out from Elam and camped by the Red Sea. And they set out from the Red Sea and camped in the wilderness of Sin. And they set out from the wilderness of Sin and camped at Dophkah. And they set out from Dophkah and camped at Alash. And they set out from Alash and camped at Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. And they set out from Rephidim and camped in the wilderness of Sinai. And they set out from the wilderness of Sinai and camped at Kibroth-Hattaavah. And they set out from Kibroth-Hattaavah and camped at Hazeroth. And they set out from Hazeroth and camped at Rithmah. And they set out from Rithmah and camped at Rimmon-Perez. And they set out from Rimmon-Perez and camped at Rissa and camped at Kehelatha. And they set out from Kehelatha and camped at Mount Shephah. And they set out from Mount Shephah and camped at Haradah. And they set out from Haradah and camped at Maharoth. And they set out from Macharoth and camped at Tahath. And they set out from Tahath and camped at Terah. And they set out from Terah and camped at Mithkah. And they set out from Mithkah and camped at Hashmona. And they set out from Hashmona and camped at Moseroth. And they set out from Moseroth and camped at Bean-Jachin. And they set out from Bean-Jachin and camped at Hor Haggidgad. And they set out from Hor Haggidgad and camped at Jotbatha. And they set out from Jotbatha and camped at Abrona. And they set out from Abrona and camped at Ezingeb. And they set out from Ezingeb and camped in the wilderness of Zin. And they set out from Kadesh and camped at Mount Hor on the edge of the land of Edom. And Aaron the priest went up Mount Hor at the command of the Lord and died there. In the 40th year after the people of Israel came up out of the land of Egypt, on the first day of the 5th month, and Aaron was 123 years old when he died on Mount Hor. And they kidnapped the king of Ar. The king of Ar, who lived in the land of Canaan, lived in the Negev in the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the people of Israel. And they set off from Mount Hor and camped at Zalmon. And they set out from Zalmon and camped at Puna. And they set out from Puna and camped at Oboth. And they set out from Oboth and camped at Ayabarim in the territory of Moab. And they set out from Ayam and camped at Dibon-Gad. And they set out from Dibon-Gad and camped at Almon-Diblathaim. And they set out from Almon-Diblathaim and camped in the mountains of Abarim before Nebo. And they set out from the mountains of Abarim and camped in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho. They camped by the Jordan from Beth Jeshimah, as far as Abel Shittim in the plains of Moab. And the Lord spoke to Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho, saying, Speak to the people of Israel and say to them, When you pass over the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and destroy their figures, stones, and destroy their metal images, and demolish all their high places. And you shall take possession of the land and settle in it, for I have given the land to you to possess it. You shall inherit the land by the law, according to your plans. To a large tribe you shall give a large inheritance, and to a small tribe you shall give a small inheritance, wherever the law falls forever. Anyone that shall be his, according to the tribes of your fathers, you shall inherit. If you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, and those whom you let remain shall be as barbs in your eyes, and thorns in your sides, and they shall trouble you in the land where you dwell. And I will do to you as I thought you should do to them. But the Lord spake to Moses, saying, Command the people of Israel, and say to them, When you enter the land of Canaan, the south side shall be from the wilderness of Zin Zin up alongside Edom, and your southern border shall run from the end of the Salt Sea on the east, and your border shall run south, turn south the ascent of Akrabim, and cross to Zin, and its limit shall be south of Kadesh Barnea, and it shall go on to Hazer Adda, and pass along to Asman, and the border shall turn from Asman to the brook of Egypt, and its limit shall be at the sea, and the western border shall have the great sea and its coast. It shall be a western border. There shall be a northern border. From the great sea you shall draw a line to Mount Hor. From Mount Hor you shall draw a line to Lebo Hamath. And the limit of the border shall be at Zedad. And the border shall extend to Sifra. And its limit shall be at Hazer Edda. This shall be your northern border. You shall draw a line from your eastern border, from Hazer Edda to Shephem. And the border shall go down from Shephem to Riblah on the east side of Ain. And the border shall go down and reach to the shoulder of the sea of Cherith on the east. And the border shall go down to the Jordan, and its limit shall be at the Salt Sea. This shall be a land is defined by its borders all around. This can the Hebrew of Israel saying, this is the land that you shall inherit by the law which the Lord has commanded to give to the 9 tribes and to the half tribe. For the tribe of the Hebrew people Reuben by fathers' house, and the tribe of the Hebrew people of Gad by their fathers' houses have received their inheritance. This is the half tribe of Manasseh, and the 2 tribes of the half tribe have received their inheritance beyond the Jordan east of Jericho, toward the sunrise. And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, these are the names of the men who shall divide the land to you for inheritance. As are the priests and Joshua the son of Nun. You shall take one chief from every tribe to divide the land for inheritance. These are the names of the men. Of the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jephunneh. Of the tribe of the Hebrew, Simeon, Shemuel the son of Ammihud. Of the tribe of Benjamin, Eliab the son of Chisla. Of the tribe of the Hebrew, Dan, chief, Bucky the son of Jogli. Of the Hebrew, Joseph. Of the tribe of the Hebrew, Manasseh, chief, Haniel the son of Ephraim. And of the tribe of the Hebrew, Ephraim, chief, Yemiel the son of Shiftan. Of the tribe of the Hebrew, Zebulun, chief, Elzaphan the son of Parnak. Of the tribe of the Hebrew, Isaac, chief, Altiel the son of Azan. And of the tribe of the Hebrew, Asher, chief, Ahihad the son of Shalomi. Of the tribe of the Hebrew, Naphtali, chief, Pedahel the son of Ammihud. And these are the men whom the Lord commanded to divide the inheritance for the people of Israel and the land of Canaan. The Lord spake to Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jericho, saying, command the people of Israel to give to the Levites some of the inheritance of their possessions for their cities to dwell. And they shall give to the Levites pasture lands around the cities. These cities shall be theirs to dwell. And the pasture land shall be for their cattle and for their livestock and for their beasts. Pasture lands of the sea, which you shall give to the Levites, shall reach from the wall of the sea out well 1,000 cubits all around. And you shall measure outside the sea on the east side 2,000 cubits, on the south side 2,000 cubits, on the west side 2,000 cubits, on the north side 2,000 cubits. Sea being in the middle, this shall belong to them as pasture land for their seas. Seas that you give to the Levites. Levites shall be 6 seas of refuge, where you shall permit the manslayer to flee. And in addition to them, you shall give 42 series. All the seas that you shall give to Levites shall be 48. 48 with their pasture lands and And as for the seas that you shall give from the possession of the Hebrew of Israel, from the larger tribe, that you shall take money from the small tribe, you shall shake few, each in proportion to the inheritance that inherits, and you shall give of its seed to Levi. And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, Say to the people of Israel, and say to them, when you cross the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall select cities to be cities of refuge. The manslayer kills anyone. Any person without intent may flee there. The sea shall be for your refuge from the avenger, that the manslayer may not die until he stands before the congregation for judgment. And the seas that you give shall be your 6 seas of refuge. And you shall give 3 seas beyond the Jordan, 3 seas in the land of Canaan, to be seas of refuge. And these 6 seas shall be for refuge for the people of Israel, and for the stranger, and for the sojourner among them, that anyone who kills any person without intent may flee there. Nobody struck him down with an iron object so that he die. He is a murderer. The murderer shall be put to death. And if we struck him down with a stone tool that could cause death and he die, he is a murderer. Murderer that shall be put to death. and if he struck him down with a wooden tool that could cause death, and he died, he is a murderer. The murderer shall be put to death. The avenger of blood shall himself put the murderer to death when he meets him. He shall put him to death, and if he pushed him out of hatred or held something in lying in wait so that he died, or in enmity struck him down with his hand so that he died, then he struck the blood shall be put to death. He is a murderer. The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death when he meets him. If he pushed him suddenly without enmity or held anything on him without lying in wait, or used to say that could cause death with him without seeing him dropped it on him so that he died. He was not his enemy and did not seek his harm, then the congregation shall judge between the manslayer and the avenger of blood in accordance with these rules. And the congregation shall rescue the manslayer from the hand of the avenger of blood, and the congregation shall restore to the city of refuge to which he had fled, and he shall live in it until the death of the high priest who was anointed with the holy oil. If the manslayer shall at any time go beyond the boundaries of a city of refuge to which he fled, and the avenger of blood finds him outside the boundaries of a city of refuge, and the avenger of blood kills the manslayer, he shall not be guilty of blood. He must remain in a state of refuge until the death of the high priest. After the death of the high priest, the manslayer may return to the land of his possession. And these things shall be for a statute and a rule for you throughout your generations in all your dwelling places. If anyone kills a person, the murderer shall be put to death on the evidence of witnesses. And no person shall be put to death on the testimony of one witness. Moreover, he shall accept no ransom for the life of a murderer who is guilty of death, but he shall be put to death. And he shall accept no ransom for him who has fled a city of refuge, where he may be returned to dwell in the land. And for the death of the high priest, he shall not pollute the land in which he lives, for blood pollutes the land, and no atonement can be made for the land, for the blood that is shed in it, except by the blood of the one who shed it. And you shall not defile the land in which you live, in the midst of which I dwell. For I, the Lord, dwell in the midst of the people of Israel. Head to their fathers' houses of the clan of the people of Galilee, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, of the clans of the people of Manasseh, the clans of the people of Joseph, King Leah, spake before Moses and before the chiefs in the hands of the fathers' houses of the people of Israel. They said, Look, command my Lord to give the land for inheritance, my lot to the people of Israel. And ye, my Lord, was commanded by the Lord to give the inheritance of Zelophehad our brother to his daughter. For if any of them are married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the people of Israel, then the inheritance will be taken from the inheritance of their fathers, and added to the inheritance of the tribe into which they marry. So it will be taken away from the lot of our inheritance, and the jubilee of the people of Israel comes, and the inheritance will be added to the inheritance of the tribe into which they marry, and the inheritance will be taken from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers. And Moses commanded the people of Israel, according to what the Lord said, and the tribe of Joseph, of the people of Joseph is right. This is what the Lord commands concerning the daughters of Zelophehad. Let them marry whom they think best, and they shall marry within the clan of the tribe of their father. And the inheritance of the people of Israel shall not be transferred from one tribe to another, for every one of the people of Israel shall hold on to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. And every daughter who possesses an inheritance in any tribe of the people of Israel shall be wife to one of the clan of the tribe of her father, so that every one of the people of Israel may possess the inheritance of his father. So no inheritance shall be transferred from one tribe to another. Each of the tribes of the people of Israel shall hold on to his own inheritance. Our daughters of Zelophehad did the Lord command Moses from Mahlah, Tirzah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Noah. The daughters of Zelophehad were married to sons of their father's brothers, who were married into the clan of the people of Manasseh, the son of Jacob, and the inheritance remained in the tribe of their father's clan. These are the commandments and the rules that the Lord commanded through Moses to the people of Israel in the plains of Moab by the Jordan by Jericho. Deuteronomy 1. These are the words that Moses spoke to all Israel beyond the Jordan in the woods, in the Arabah opposite South, between Paran and Tophel, Laban, Hazeroth, and Dizahab. It is 11 days' journey from Horeb by the way of Mount Seir to Kadesh Barnea. In the 40th year, on the first day of the 11th month, Moses spoke to the people of Israel according to all that the Lord had given him, any commandments in it. After he had defeated Sihon, king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon, Og, the king of Bashan, who lived in Ashtaroth and Edrei, and beyond the Jordan in the land of Moab, Moses undertook to explain this law, saying, The Lord our God said to us in horror, You have stayed long enough at this moment. Turn and take your journey. Go to the hill country of the Amorites, and to all the neighbors in the Arabah, and the hill country and the Negev, and by the sea coast, the land of the Canaanites and Lebanon, as far as the river Euphrates. See, I have set the land before you. You go and take possession of the land that the Lord swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give to them and to their offspring after that time. I said to you, I am not able to bear you by myself. The Lord your God has multiplied you, and behold, you are today as numerous as the stars of heaven. And he, the Lord, the God of your fathers, make you 1,000 times as many as you are, and bless you as he has promised you. How can I bear by myself the weight and the burden of you and your strife? Choose for your tribes wise, understanding, and experienced men, and appoint them as your heads. And he answered me, The thing that you have spoken is good for us to do. So I took the heads of your tribes, wise and experienced men, and set them as heads over you. Commanders of the thousands, commanders of hundreds, commanders of 50, commanders of tens of officers throughout your tribes. And charge your judges at that time. Hear the cases between your brothers, and judge righteously between a man and his brother, or the alien who is with him. You shall not be partial in judgment. You shall admit here the small and the great alike. You shall not be intimidated by anyone. What judgment is God's. And that case is too hard. In the case that is too hard for you, you shall bring to me, and I will hear it. And I commanded you at that time all the things that you should do. And we set off from where I went through all the great and terrifying wilderness that you saw on the way of the hill country of the Amorites, as the Lord our God commanded us. And we came to Kadesh, and I said to you, You have come to the hill country of the Amorites, which the Lord our God is giving us. See, the Lord our God has set the land before you. Wherefore you go up, take this from Ask the Lord, the God of your fathers, sorry. Do not fear or be dismayed, that all you came near me again. And said, Let us send men before us, that we may explore the land first and bring us word again of the way by which we must go, and explore the land first and bring us word again of the way by which we must go, and the cities into which we shall come. And when things seemed good to me, and I took 12 men from you, 1 man from each tribe, and they turned and went up into the whole country, and came into the valley of Eshcol and spied it out. And he took in their hands some of the fruit of the land, and brought it down to us, and brought us word again, and said, It is a good land that the Lord our God has given us. Yet you would not go up, but rebelled against the command of the Lord your God. And you murmured in your tents and said, Because the Lord hated us, he has brought us out of the land of Egypt, to give us into the hand of the Amorites, to destroy us. Where are we going? Our brothers have made our hearts melt, saying, The people are greater and taller than we. As the seas are great and fortified up to him. And besides, we have seen the sons of Anakim there. And I said to you, Do not be in dread or afraid. The Lord your God, who goes before you, will himself fight for you, just as he did before your eyes. And in the wilderness where you have seen how the Lord your God carried you, as a man carries his son, all the way that you went until you came to this place. Yet in spite of this word, you do not believe the Lord your God. He went before you in the way to seek you, and a place to pitch you in fire by night and in the cloud by day, show you by what way you should go. And the Lord heard your words and was angry, and he swore, Not one of these men of this evil generation shall see the good land I swore to give to your fathers. Except Caleb the son of Jephunneh shall see unto him and to his children. I will give the land on which he is trodden, because he has wholly fallen from the Lord. Even with me, the Lord was angry in your account, and said, Yours shall not go in there. Joshua the son of man, who stands before you, he shall enter. Encourage you, for he shall cause Israel to inherit it. And as for your little ones who say you would become a prey, and children who today have no knowledge of good and evil, ye shall go in there, and to them I will give, and they shall possess it. As for you, turn and journey into the wilderness in the direction of the Red Sea. And he answered, We have sinned against the Lord. We ourselves will go and fight, just as the Lord our God commanded us, and every one of you fastened on his weapons of war, and thought it easy to go up into the hill country. And the Lord said to me, C.Jun, do not go up or fight, for I am not in your midst, lest you be defeated before your enemies. So I spake to you, and you would not listen, but you rebelled against the command of the Lord, and presumptuously went up into the hill country. And then the Amorites who lived in that hill country came out against you, and chased you as bees did, and beat you down and stayed as far as Hormah. And you returned a weapon for the Lord, but the Lord did not listen to your voice or give ear to you. So you remained at Kadesh many days, and the days that you remained there. Proverbs 7. My son, keep my words and treasure my commandments, and keep my commandments and live. Keep my commandments and live. Keep my teaching at the apple of your eye, bind them on your fingers, with one on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call inside your intimate friend. He will keep you from the forbidden woman, from the adulteress of the smooth word. At the window of my house I have looked out through my lattice, and I have seen among the simple, I have perceived among the youths a young man like stands passing along the street near headquarters, taking the way to us. On the twilight, in the evening, in the time of night and darkness, and behold, the woman meets him just as a prostitute lily of heart. She is loud and way when her feet do not stay her. Down the street, down the market, and at every corner she lies on way. She sees him and kisses him. With bold face she says to him, I had to offer sacrifices, and today I pay my vows. So today I have come out to meet you, seek you illegally, and I find I spread my couch with covering, color linens from Egyptian linen. I perfume my bed with myrrh, the and cinnamon. Come, let's take our fill of love until morning. Let's delight ourselves with love, for my husband is not at home. He is gone on a long journey. He took a bag of money with him. At full moon he will come home. With his mustard duck to speech she persuades. With this smooth talk she compels him. Why once he follows her, as an ox goes to the slaughter, or as a stag he's caught fast to an arrow pierces his liver. As a bird rushes into his net, he does not know that it will cost him his life. And now, sons, listen to me and be attentive to the word of my mouth. Let not your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not stray into her paths, for many a victim has she laid low, and in her all slain are almighty from her house is a way to shall go down into the chambers of death. Psalm 134. Come, bless the Lord, all ye servants of the Lord, who stand by night in the house of the Lord. Lift up your hands to the holy place and bless the Lord. And the Lord bless you from Zion, who ye made heaven and earth. Now that's done, I shall now do the Lord's Prayer. Pray. Please bow your heads, the Father in heaven. Hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. And kill us at our days, just as you and our debtors. It is not to temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.